So a few months ago, I had a company called Guyker reach out and ask if I'd be willing to do some reviews and install videos of some of their products. So they offered to send me a Tune-o-matic style roller saddle bridge, which will fit most LP style guitars and most guitars with Tune-o-matic bridges. In this video, what we're going to do is drop that bridge onto a Fesley FLP 350. Basically, it's an LP style guitar with a body style similar to the ESP LTD Eclipse. So what I'm going to do now is open up the packaging, show you what you can expect if you buy this bridge, get the guitar up on the bench and the strings off. Let's dive in. All right, so this is the bridge here and how you can expect to receive it. So we're just going to open this up here real quick and take a quick look at this bridge. The rollers on this bridge here feel really good, and they definitely feel like they'll help with tuning stability. What you end up with is 2 posts and inserts. I'm hoping that the inserts on the current guitar will fit. I think for the most part they will. You know, it does also come with an Allen key, and the Allen key helps tighten that set screw down on the post. It seems like this is a pretty simplistic thing to do. All we're really going to have to do once we get this installed is intonate it, hopefully. Now, when comparing this to the traditional Tune-o-matic bridge, one of the things you'll notice, and I'll try to zoom in on this a little bit, you can see here where it's very tight inside of these grooves, and you can really kind of see how a string can get pinched in there, which causes tuning issues and string breakage. Whereas a roller bridge, these actually do roll on top of here. These saddles do roll, and that will help prevent that. And we'll find out. You know, it's a relatively cheap upgrade. I think these bridges retail between $15 and $25, depending on color and where you're purchasing from. I think this one's around $18 right now on Amazon. I will leave some affiliate links in the description. Just keep in mind, I might earn a small commission from that. So with the guitar up on the bench, the first thing we're gonna do is measure the posts here and how high they are from the guitar on the current bridge. So that way we'll have an idea of the starting point for the posts on the roller bridge. Oh, and one other quick note that you want to make sure is that the standard string spacing for a Tune-o-matic bridge is typically 52 millimeters, but it's never a bad idea to double check yours and make sure that yours is indeed a 52 millimeter string spacing. So with the strings loose, what we're going to do now is go ahead and remove the tailpiece from the guitar, and then we'll remove the bridge. Of course, we're going to go ahead and just lift this bridge right off. We could probably even use the same posts, but we're going to go ahead and replace them. The other thing we want to do, try to line up the saddles with the existing bridge as best as you can before you even put it on to get a starting point. So by doing that and lining them up and getting them at least close, it should make intonation just a little bit easier. We're going to go ahead and remove these now. All right, put the old ones over here. Now the big question, does the threading match? And look at this. Matches perfectly, no issues with the thread seating. So we're going to be pretty much good to go here. Let's do the other side. Thread it on down nice and easily, no issues. Again, we're going to take our measurement. That should keep our action close. Now we go bridge on. You want to be careful when you're putting your bridge on that you're holding it tightly so you don't drop it onto the body. Can't say whether or not I may have ever done that in the past. I'll plead the fifth. All right, but now we're going to go ahead and tighten this down on here. Little difficult getting that to tighten down. Careful that my mic doesn't fall off as well. We are good to go as far as the bridge. It does rock a little bit here. Not uncommon, because what's going to happen is once the strings go over and there's tension on it, it's not going to move. Time to get it strung up and give it a test. Now's a good time to say that if you're finding this video helpful and you enjoy guitar-related content, please consider subscribing to the channel. All right, so we are all strung up. Next thing we're going to do is take a look at action and intonation. Now with regards to the action, it's a simple screw adjustment here on each side of the bridge, flathead screw. Very simple to do, and you're just going to adjust those posts either up or down as needed. Remember, we measured it out beforehand, so because of that, it's actually pretty close here on the 12th fret. Yeah, so it's between 1.7 and 2.0. I'd probably like to get it a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do now is make a minor adjustment to get that action a little lower. And we'll do another half a turn on the lower end here. You want to hear what this guitar really sounds like? guitar overall sounds in tune. So it looks like the intonation is good. What we're going to do now is go ahead and take a look at the pros and cons of this roller saddle bridge from Guyker. Starting with the first pro, and that's going to be that it can help increase tuning stability. This is because, as mentioned before, on a standard Tune-o-matic bridge, oftentimes the string can get pinched down within the saddle. Now the reality is, it's my opinion that if you're having tuning issues, chances are it's probably the nut or perhaps a cheap tuner. But if you've diagnosed both of those things and that's not the issue, there's a good chance it might be your bridge. Which brings us to number 2, it helps reduce string breakage. As mentioned earlier, doesn't pinch the string, right? So if we're not pinching the string and we're not adding that sharp point for the string to get hung up on, it decreases the chance of the string breaking at that point. These bridges are almost a must too if you plan on adding a Bigsby or Duesenberg style trem system to your guitar. Again, that all goes back to tuning stability and string breakage. And the third pro to this bridge is going to be price and value. At the time of this video, these bridges cost between $15 and $25, depending on what color you get, whether you get black or chrome. They can range in price. With that said, it's a very good value for what you get. Everything functioned on this bridge as it should. The threading was good on everything. There was no issues or anywhere that it got hung up. And it actually feels like a quality piece at a budget price. And lastly, number 4, I didn't have any issues with the install. It went in really easily, and if I wasn't shooting it as a video, I really could have done this in 5 minutes aside from the string change. Alright, I know I said there was only going to be 4 pros, but I'm coming back to give a 5th here because I put another 10 hours or so of playing on this guitar, and it really feels like this bridge has helped with sustain. Now this could be completely psychosomatic on my part, but one of the things I noticed after installing this bridge is that notes seem to be holding on a little bit longer. Initially, I kind of attributed the sustain issue to just being a budget guitar with budget pickups. But as it turns out, it may very well have been the bridge. So yeah, definitely feels like better sustain. As with any product I review on this channel, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows, but thankfully there was only one minor con to this bridge. And that was that the finish was kind of worn off on one of the posts on the threading there. And it almost looked like, if you didn't know better, that I'd taken pliers to kind of torque it down, but I didn't. I never did that. That was how it came out of the packaging. So if you look close right here, you can kind of see where there's a little bit of like metal showing through where the finish is kind of worn off. There's a couple of easy fixes for this, but I still felt like I should mention it. And perhaps I'm being a little bit picky, you know, I mean, these are only like 20 bucks, so, you know, it kind of is what it is, but at the same time, there were 2 fixes I could have done here. Number 1, I could have just used the post that was already on the guitar that didn't have that issue, but being that this was a review, I wanted to install the entire product. Now the second simple fix would be simply to rotate this around to where you can't see it. So it's on the inside of the guitar, you'll never see it. I could have also used this post over on the other side and rotated it so that it's on the inside here and you'd never see it. Thankfully, I do have to lower the action a little bit, and once I do, half a turn in, you'll never know it's there. But overall, I felt like this was actually a pretty good value for what you're paying for it. I mean, at a median price of around $20, it's kind of hard to expect more out of a budget bridge. It's definitely helped the look and playability of this budget Festly guitar. So if you have any questions, by all means, leave them in the comments. I do try to answer most of the questions that come through on the channel. If you're interested in the review I did of the Guyker locking tuners, be sure to check out this video right here. Don't forget to check them out on Instagram at Guyker Official, where they do, talk about all the new releases, show some install videos, and have some other cool content. And as always, thanks for watching.